Good afternoon and welcome to Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. This afternoon, we are excited as usual to be here. It's been a few months, and when the Spirit says sit, you have to sit, you have to listen. And I had to listen. So we haven't been on since October, but we're here regardless, and we're here filled with the excitement of what is in store for us, for you, for next year. Because look at it, we're at the end of the year already. Can you imagine? We
Yep.
are in almost a few days. No, we are in December. Look at me. I'm completely lost.
Yep.
Welcome to Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. I am Alicia Alexander, your forgiveness coach. I work with individuals who have at some point in time either lost their voice, lost their confidence, think that they're going through life or their journey or their trauma alone. And I'm here to let you know that forgiveness freed me, and that might not be your saving grace when it comes to moving to the next level. But I can definitely guide you along the process of what it takes to get to that place of peace through forgiveness. This afternoon, I have my usual. Janelle is here with me, my co host. And our special guest this afternoon is Miss Natasha Pascal. I'm going to ask Jonelle to go ahead and introduce herself. No, we're not leaving our guest for last. She is going to be last introducing herself, but we are saving the best for last. So go right ahead, Janelle.
Yes. Yes, Alicia. Thank you so much for having me on this show. I am super excited. After skipping so many weeks, we're back. For those of you that have been requesting us, where are you? Where is Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters? We are back, and I am excited. I'm so excited to hear Natasha's story today. You have no idea. I'm not going to talk about what happened previously before this and all of the things that were said to me, but I'm just so excited to be here with my host, Alicia Alexander. Yes, she said it right. My name is Janelle. I am a life fulfillment coach. And one of the things I do, I work with individuals trying to help them to navigate this thing called life and to live a more fulfilled, a more purpose life. If you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going, you don't know when you reach. You wouldn't know when you get there. So I'm the person that helps you to get that clarity, helps you to understand and uncover, peel the layers off, and really understand who God purposed you to be. Who am I? So that I don't be here, there, and everywhere. But now I know who I am. So I know my purpose. So I know this doesn't serve me, that doesn't serve me. So I know that I can be focused and go in the direction that God has me to go. So I am excited to be here. And I'm going to toss this mic over to our lovely guest, Natasha Pascal. Over to you, my dear.
Got it. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, wonderful audience. My name is Natasha Pascal, and I'm from the beautiful island of St. Lucia. I am a
Ooh.
self awareness advisor, and I help young people navigate through life challenges by allowing them to see that they were not born to fit in, but to stand out, right? They have their own personal journeys, and we are all here individually, as you said. But we first need to know who we are, where did I come from? Where's all of that bitterness coming from? All of these stages. So that's what I do. I help young people gain that path to awareness.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you
Yes,
have an
welcome.
international group this afternoon: Antiguan, Bahamian, and St.
Bahamas.
Lucian, Bahamas, and St. Lucia. All right then.
Yep.
So this is going to be interesting. Janelle,
So, Alicia, so I'm flawed today about this topic that you've decided to choose, and Natasha Pascal. So I'm going to be very calm today. Well,
Okay.
let's say I can't promise you. I can't promise you, Alicia, because this topic that you chose is a dynamic topic today. And I'm really going to allow our guests to really, really let us know the type of people that she work with, the things that she does, and how it relates to this topic and how she identifies with this topic. But baby, I want you to know that I identify with this topic on so many different levels, and I cannot wait to share that with you. So, your topic today, Alicia, divorce,
Divorce
fear.
fear,
Mm-hmm.
divorce diligence.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Divorce,
Janelle, a lot
diligence.
of people get married, and it's, marriage is not these days, and maybe back then, because we didn't have social media to get into people's business the way we do now. Marriage is not the way God intended it for me to be. Would you agree or disagree? And I was reading some statistics the other day, and the majority of people that get married fall into two categories. It's either love or for convenience. And nobody gets married, with intention of getting a divorce, unless that was their goal. This was convenience. We're gonna get married for a little while and then we're gonna get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Which is wrong, but it happened. And then
Mm-hmm.
again, maybe it's wrong to me. It's wrong in my sight. But
Mm-hmm.
they get married and they get divorced. But marriage is supposed to be a lifelong commitment. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, some marriages end in divorce. And the divorce could be based on a mutual agreement, or it could be a tug of war. And in some cases, it's downright nasty,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for the purpose of today's discussion, we are going to, for analogy purposes, we're going to talk about the marriages that ends in divorce,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it took a while for the parties to make a decision to divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Let me add Janelle back. Give me 1 second. I think she got
Bumped up.
you back, Janelle, right? So we're going to talk about divorce, the marriages that end in divorce, and what it took them to get there, what it entails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put my story in there because I want to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
When I got married, or when I got decided to get married, or thought about marriage, as a child, I want, we dream about this wedding. I never had a fairy tale wedding in mind. I wasn't about all the glamour and everything. I'm still not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I thought about getting married, I thought that it would be a lifelong commitment. We're gonna grow old together. We're gonna be in that rocking chair, laughing about back in the days when we're young and we could do this, and I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to help you up the stairs or go up the stairs on my 2 hands and 2 feet,
Yeah, somebody for support.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And even we're getting in and out the car, but unfortunately or fortunately, it did not turn out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But when I thought about getting divorced, it did not happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It took a time, quite a while for me to do my research. And if anybody knows me well, when I do come to you with a decision, it's because it's a well thought out process. I thought about the future. I
Mm-hmm.
read books. I watched movies. I boo-hooed over the movies. So that way I wouldn't boo-hoo at the marriage, at the divorce. Right? I I thought about individuals that I know that were married, and I watched people before and after, watch the divorce to see, what their life was like. And I had to make a decision as is this where I'm supposed to be? When I decided to get married, did I ask God if this was his plan or this was just my plan?
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally decided to make that decision, I had booed hooed over the movies. So at that point, there was no reason for tears. There was no reason for turning back because I prayed about it. I gave it to him, to God, and I left it right there. If this is what you want me to do in order to feel fulfilled, and don't get me wrong, the gentleman is a very, I don't have anything bad to say. He's not perfect, just like I am not. But at the same time, I felt like this is not where I needed to be. And so I had to make a decision to move on. And when I did, I don't want to sound selfish. When I made that decision, and this is, I'm just gonna keep it real. When I made that decision and I finally submitted the papers and it was finally over with, I felt like a burden was lifted.
Mm.
Like I was
Yes.
free. Like I'm grown now. I could do this. I could do this. I can organize stuff how I want to. And I didn't want a divorce because of selfishness, but I felt like there was a fire inside of me, and I'm trying to pull somebody along with me who is not on the same journey. Because not everybody's going to be on your journey.
Mhm.
Not everybody's going to be on the same page with you. They're going to probably read the same book, but we're not in
Mhm.
the same chapter. We have a different perspective of what things are supposed to look like, how life is supposed to be.
Mhm.
And so I was trying to pull this person along, and that was not his calling. This was my calling. This was my vision.
Your
And
journey.
now I'm free. You mean I could do things how I want to? I can worship how I want to. It was I can breathe.
Liberating.
Before I was breathing without air. I can breathe
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
And so I'm not saying that marriage is a bad thing,
Mhm.
but you have to understand your journey. And you have to make that decision as to where you are, where you were, where you are, and where you want to be. And
Mhm.
make a decision, is this for me?
Mhm.
Forget about what everybody think or what everybody said, is this for me?
Mhm.
And I was overloaded on information. Despite the fact that I was free, I was overloaded. I still had an overload because I read so much and watched so much, I didn't know what to expect. But I knew that there was something more for me. Maybe somebody else. Haven't found him yet, but maybe there was somebody else. But I knew there was more. And so when you go through that process, you're going to encounter a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, a lot of chatter. And so you might make the decision, and these things happen sometimes because we invite so many other forces in so they can have their say. And we're not listening to the voice that we need to listen to.
Mhm.
And you're wondering, what does that have to do with divorce fear and divorce
Diligence.
diligence?
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone you, I don't know about Miss Pascal, but Janelle, I know you were married before.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you can relate to any of this.
I can definitely relate to what you're saying, Alicia. When I think of divorce, I think of you separating yourself from something that you was attached to. So I look at it as a separation permanently from whatever you was attached to. And that's one of the reasons why I really like Chit Chat with Journey Sisters, because this show is about really being transparent and really helping people. We're not just on here just saying we just want to blabber our business because we have nothing better to do. Because I'm pretty sure that all of us have our careers and families and different things that we're working on. So we're here
Mhm.
for a purpose. We're here so that we can set somebody else free. We're here so that we can share our story, so that you can see yourself in the story that we're sharing, and you can get hope and revelation that, hey, you know what? She's been through it. She came out of it. So I know I can do this. Um, I was divorced twice. So I've had to separate myself two times. And it took me a while to really fall in love with me again, because I thought that, hey, everyone is going to ostracize me. They're going to look at me, especially the church. You know me in religion, we always doing this. And so, church people,
Mhm.
come on, somebody, could be some of the worst people. And I'm just trying to help somebody. So if
Yeah.
you when you're on this journey, like you say, you've got
Mhm.
to really be quiet and hear the voice of God as to, God, which direction I need to go in. I don't need to hear the chatter from here. I don't need to hear from the deacons. I just need to hear you, and how you're going to guide me and navigate me through this. So as you separate yourself from something that you was attached to, you're no longer you're no longer able to lean on or have the comforts of what you used to have. So now you're in an uncharted water. You're in a place that's not familiar and it's different. It's liberating, but it's scary. It's liberating, but I don't know what to do now. And God help you if you ever decide to date again. It's that's another story for another day. But as we navigate through this topic, Alicia, I want our audience to think you may still be married. And this isn't just a divorce from a spouse. This is a divorce, a separation from anything that you was attached to. Some of you on here, as we are at the end of the year and it's December, you need to divorce some of those friends that you being attached to, that you being running the streets
Yep.
with.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, when you sit down and you think about God, why am I here? And you get a revelation of your purpose, and you realize that God has something bigger, better, greater, higher for you to attain. And you realize that this journey isn't for everyone. So I can't take Bobo the fool with me.
Yeah.
Bobo the fool just pulling me back.
Yeah.
It can be a boyfriend, it can be a girlfriend, it can be a best friend. Whatever it is that is stopping you from getting to that next level, you need to give them, serve them notice and give them some papers and say, listen, from this day forward, I will no longer be
Yeah.
attached to you. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna do this God's way because I want to get everything that He purposed me to have. I want to maximize my potential. So
Yeah.
as you are thinking about this topic today, guys, because Alicia, woo, she gives me a headache sometimes. Lord have mercy. But as you're thinking about this topic, and I'm dancing because I hope you're ready, Natasha, because I'm gonna throw the mic over to you. But as
Yeah.
you think about this topic, I want you to think about what in your life right now for you to get to the next level as we enter into a new year, turn
Yeah.
over a new leaf, make New Year's resolutions, blah, 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 the things that we do every single year. But how do you want your 2024 to look? Do you want it to be the same way that your 2023 went? Listen, I have so much passion, so much fire on the inside of me and excitement towards my 2024, my future. Like I'm just staring at it and I realize that God had to sit me down because sometimes God will knock you off your feet, pull the rug from underneath your feet, and leave you on your bottom so that you can depend on Him and you can just sit down and find strength, that you can
Yeah.
find strength to go on. So
Yeah.
we want to hear how this resonates with you, Natasha, because I'm gonna come back to that, Elisa. I'm gonna come back to that in the church in a minute. But we want to hear from our guest, Natasha. How do you resonate with this topic, divorcing fair, divorcing diligence?
Well, for me, I have never been married. I was telling Alicia. But when I listened, when I got the topic, and you spoke so rightly in it, there were things that I had to divorce myself from to be
Mm,
the level that I am right now. And that had to be relationships with, well, sexual relationships, if we're being honest.
yes.
And I had that revelation, um, when I was in scripture, and then this, which I had already gone through, but at that point, it says in Corinthians, your body is not your own, and I got this slap, like whatever I was doing with my body was not right, and it was not acceptable in God's eyes. So I had to divorce myself from revelation, from these relationships, and put myself aside and sit myself down and said, this is not where I should be. So I had to let that go. And gradually, when I let that go, I understood that the only reasons I was in relationships, or whether it be platonic or otherwise, is because I was afraid to be by myself. Oh, I did not even understand who I was at that point. So I was running to work, I was running to my friends, I was running to relationships, and I had to divorce myself from, you know, the fear of being alone, or the fear of wanting to fit in with what everybody else says. And I had to run into the arms of God. And since there, that
That's good.
journey has evolved, and it was not a journey of me trying to find what my purpose is. I honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, what God was doing, but I just went with it. I had to be obedient, so I did the steps. I took the steps, um, in divorcing myself, stepping aside and allowing God to do what He did. It was not easy.
Mm.
The steps, you have to ask. For me, it was self control, because that was something that I, for so many years, and now I have to be in that bracket of being a new person, a new me,
Mhm.
finding me. That means I had to step away from what everybody else was saying, and
Mhm.
whoever, what everybody else was doing, and step
Mhm.
into the light of trying to understand, okay, why am I here? Why is God doing this to me right now, or what is He trying to tell me? And preparing me, that's what I believe. After
Mhm.
years of this, I think He's preparing me for where He's going to take me, preparing me to be a better person, a more confident person, a more aware person, a person who's more aware of herself, um, and taking me to where He wants me to go, to helping and guiding other persons in that journey. So no, I've
Mm.
not been divorced, but my divorce was from the fear of trying to fit in with everybody else, and
Mhm.
being alone, you know.
I'm happy that you shared that because
Me too.
when I got a divorce, Janelle, nobody said good job. Nobody came and said good job, high five. So I had to be my own cheerleader. I had to pat myself on the back and say, how am I gonna handle this? And a lot of people stay in marriages because of whether it be the children, finance, their family status, their status in the church, in the community, all just because they want to be obedient to the rules. And what they don't realize is that they are married to fear and diligence, right? Because they're afraid of being on their own, just like Natasha just mentioned. And they don't realize that they're being blinded.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with marriage is that when you get in a divorce, you have a physical body to be angry with, right? You have somebody that you can, you're not supposed to hit, but if you want to throw punches, you can throw punches at them, right? I don't believe in violence, but you have a physical body to argue with, to have a discussion with, whether it be to make up, to have the hug, to throw daggers at, to throw words at. You have that physical body, and you might even want to bring a third or fourth or fifth party into it so that you can have them agree with you. But when it comes to divorcing fear and diligence, who you fighting with?
Yourself.
You don't have anybody to fight with. There's no physical body. So you're totally on your own. And you have to make the decision what I'm in or what I am about to do. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this the direction that I'm supposed to go in? And diligence, when I think about diligence, you know the meaning of diligence. It's
Mhm.
about care, it's being careful to work towards something. And there's nothing wrong in diligence, but there's something wrong with it when you're being diligent to the wrong cause and you're not being fulfilled.
Yeah.
So
That's
not
good.
having that physical body and you being married to yourself, you having to have this discussion with yourself, that is not an easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
How do I pull away from that fear? How
Yeah.
do I pull away from that diligence so I can live on purpose, so I can find me?
Mhm.
And we don't want to take the time sometimes, like Natasha mentioned again, to face that.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself running to friends, running to sex, running to whatever it is,
Yeah.
because you want that fulfillment in order
Yeah.
to cover up the what you really need.
What really is the issue? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know how to go forward and to pull away from that. And there are fragments of you being thrown all over the place that need to find a way to pull together so you can be whole.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I know what it's like. I am a person that grew up running from my story,
Hmm.
running from my reality, because I felt like my reality, which is what took place, was me. There was no other way. That was me. And even though you did not know me, the minute that you met me, you knew my story. Not because I said it, but because I wore it with such diligence
Hmm.
Mm.
It's
that you would know me immediately.
it's amazing that you would say that, Alicia, because one of the things that you've been echoing on this show from the beginning of the conception of the show, talking about getting to that place of healing.
Yeah.
I want to let you know that if you do not get to that place of healing and allow God to unpack and unravel you, you're not going to get to the root of why you feel alone.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that root is abandonment. And in
Yeah.
some area facet of your life, something happened and that got embedded in your subconscious mind.
Mm.
Yes.
A lot of women, um,
Mm.
it's like they have to be in a relationship.
Mm.
They don't understand what it means to be single.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have your single moment because you need to be restored, renewed, regenerated. You need to find you. Get to
Yeah.
that place where you can find you and have the mental clarity. Because what happens is you take your messed up self, your messed up mind, and you go into another relationship. So it's a different man, the same mind. A
Yeah.
different man, again, the
Mm-hmm.
same messed up attitude. So you
Yeah.
wonder why your life is keep repeating these patterns and the cycles. And what we're trying to tell you today is you can find a way to be free.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a way to divorce these things and finally find your purpose.
Yeah.
Finally get that passion ignited on the inside of you, deep down on the inside of you, because you're going to need it. 2024 is a year of doing for me.
And
I have
rejuvenate.
been talking in 2023. I have been talking in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
2021.
Mm-hmm.
And God said to me on Sunday when I had my prayer time and my quiet time as I was praying, and He said, "You said that you were going to do your cooking show when you turned 40. Well, you're 45 now. It is 5 years later." And
No man.
listen, it was just like somebody was just when God shamed me, you shame for real. This ain't
Yeah.
no you really shame, and there's no way that you could even argue. I said,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, Lord, I'm tired of excuses. Excuses are the nails that build a house of failure.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder why you keep failing in a certain area because
Yeah.
of the constant excuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with me, I teach people to go from excuses to execution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why am I afraid to take my own advice?
Mm-hmm.
So I said 2024 is going to be that year where, baby, if you ain't with me,
Mm-hmm.
you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not adding value to my life, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say value, I'm not just talking about money. I mean, and the money is great, but I'm talking about adding value. In other words, encouraging me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alicia and I spent a lot of time together on the phone, uplifting each other. It's not easy. It's not easy when you're a single woman,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and let alone a single woman of color.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to get to that place where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I don't care what mommy say. I don't care what daddy say. This is what I feel on the inside of me. And I gotta do this.
Yes.
And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? When you make up your mind that you're gonna divorce fear and
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna divorce diligence, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get in a very uncomfortable place. Man,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be uncomfortable. We're
Mm-hmm.
not telling you that this process is going to be easy. Natasha said it was not easy.
Still
Now
not.
you will start feeling all of those. Now all of the root problems are going to start surfacing.
That's
You know,
right.
you struggle with rejection. Now you're gonna really see
Yeah.
what's on the inside of you, right? That rejection.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize that I was rejected as a child, or I
Yeah.
was rejected in my relationships. Now that starts coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize that this had affected me so much. So
Mm-hmm.
as we go into 2024, as you listen to this powerful topic that Alicia chose today,
Mm-hmm.
divorce fear. Fear is the false evidence appearing real, or
Yeah.
forgetting your existing authority rights.
Yeah.
When you forget your existing authority rights in the kingdom of God, you open yourself up to doubt and
Mm-hmm.
the power of negativity. So every time you try to move one foot forward, you hear that voice in your mind. Oh, this girl, what you trying to do? You trying to do another business again? Child, this ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
work. Child, you ain't got no money.
Yep.
Girl, why you gonna pay for this? And you hear all of that in your mind. And it
Mm-hmm.
pulls you right back to where you started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So as you get on this journey, guys, we really need you. We ain't preaching to you for preaching's sake. We really need you to grasp this today.
It's
If
not going to
you
be.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be easy. If you're listening to this under the sound of our voice, and that means
Yeah.
that God purposed you to hear exactly what we got to say. So stop
Yep.
scrolling. This message is for you.
That's right.
You need to dig your heels in,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to write down the things that you need to divorce.
Yeah.
You need to write it down. And some of
Mm-hmm.
you are in the wrong jobs. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
somebody. I ain't preaching to no, I'm preaching to
To
myself.
preach it to yourself, yes.
Some of you are in the wrong jobs, in the wrong place. But in order for you to know where you ought to be and allow God to put you in the right position, you got to get in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got to get in position, baby. Because
Good.
2024 is the
Mm.
year of doing, honey. And if you
Yeah.
ain't doing it, I can't
Yeah.
help you. You
But you
got to
see,
Yeah.
be able to put in the work.
Janelle,
Yeah.
sometimes we put things in God's hand, and we round the corner trying to monitor it.
That's it.
We put
And
it in
that's
his
where
hand and we are trying to monitor it. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
God take you out of a situation, why are
Mm-hmm.
you thinking of putting another one that you can't handle?
Yeah.
Mm,
Especially if he took you out of it,
Yeah.
he's going to put you in a better place. And
Yeah.
sometimes we just have to be still. I had to be still.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn, I just thought of an analogy, and it's probably not going to make sense to you, but you ever have I don't know if you guys like ketchup, like putting
mm,
ketchup on certain things. Tell me
yeah, a
something you
little
like
bit.
putting on your food. I like ketchup, right? I had to stay away from it for a while back, but I'm back on it now.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever had a ketchup bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit, this just a bit at the bottom of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that bit afraid to come out the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have pores at the top of the bottle and you pour it out, it's like it's afraid to come out because it might spill through the pores, the
Mm-hmm.
holes. But what you don't understand is that so long as you get to the top of the bottle and you come out, you are flavoring something.
Ooh.
That's good.
You're
That's
gonna
good.
flavor the food. You're gonna put
That's
some
good.
a smile on somebody's face.
Mm.
You are serving a purpose. I don't know why this ketchup just came to mind. Maybe I want need to go have some. But you won't be. You're serving a purpose. You're not just there just because.
Oh, I,
You put some
I,
ketchup
I
in with on some on
ketchup.
barbecue chicken. it just
Just tastes
changes the
better, right?
flavor.
Yeah. A lot of things resonated with me in this conversation. It's good. It's good. So what I realized as well, and you were so right, Janelle, is when I started divorcing myself from these relationships. Um, I remember I said I didn't that I purpose was not something that I was actively seeking. I divorced myself from that, and then I started to drill down to who really is Natasha. But I had to drill down to why I felt that way, and again, it was not comfortable, but I had to deal with it. And I realized also that finding these things out triggered other behaviors and patterns in me that was not right. Some level of aggression, some level of I read something that says if there's no peace inside of you, there'll not be peace outside of you. So I had to work
Mm,
divorcing myself from all of these things and started now tuning myself in where I should be. And it started revealing some ugly things about myself. And I had to acknowledge them. These are the bad things. So how do I combat that? Right. But all of that started when I started divorcing myself. And it so happened when you spoke about jobs, I started divorcing myself from these relationships, platonic and otherwise. And then years after I divorced myself, God had me leave my job. So that was a transition, divorce myself from these situations, work on myself, dig in, find it. And then I had to divorce myself from the institution that I worked in for 22 years. And was it easy?
Mhm.
Because of how it happened and how God spoke to me. When everybody else asked me, where are you going? I had no idea. And that's all I told them. I don't know. I'm going where God is sending me. That's all. That was my response. But I didn't get there that one time. It took time, it took work from me disassociating myself from some level of diligence and fear to get to this level. But it's still a journey, it is continuing.
Mhm.
We don't want you to think that we're there. It is a
Right,
continuous
right.
thing, but it
Mhm.
makes it better. The transition is better, as you go on now, you realize now, okay, this is how I dealt with it before, and the same God who took me out of that situation is the same God that there is today, and He's going to take you where He said He will.
Mhm.
But
That's good.
are you willing?
That's a question. That's the question. Are you willing to go through the process? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody enjoyed Thanksgiving, had a lot of food, family and fun. And my mom, she was making this cake, and we had to make sure the oven was heated at 350. So something as delicious as her red velvet cake, and let me tell you something, that I put a hurting on that cake, Alicia. I don't. I'm not proud to say what I've done. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but something as delicious as that, in order
Mm-hmm.
for it to come to perfection, it had to go through fire. It
Mm-hmm.
had to go through a level of heat in
Yep.
order for you to get the texture and the taste and enjoy the beauty of the red velvet cake.
Just like my ketchup.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just
Mm-hmm.
like your ketchup. So when you think about this process that
Mm-hmm.
we have to go through, we have to be very careful that we don't abort our purpose during this
Yeah.
process,
Mhm.
because we know that the enemy, our adversary, is as a roaring lion,
Yeah.
seeking those whom he may devour.
Yeah.
Who, what type of people is he seeking to devour?
Mm-hmm.
He is seeking people that stray away, people
Mm-hmm.
that separate themselves from other people. The pack, you weak, you're wounded, you are at a place of you're confused. We see that going on all around us, all around the world, confusion. So you
Mm-hmm.
get to this place where you are isolated, and you're the person that he's going to attack, because there's strength in numbers. So you're now
Mm-hmm.
weak by yourself. But when you get to that understanding and that revelation that, hey, God, you're taking me through this heat, because at
Mm-hmm.
the end of this, I'm coming out as pure gold. At the end of this, it's gonna be glory after this. See,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna always look like what I've been through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When I
Yeah.
come out of this heat, I would have
Mm-hmm.
been processed. The song says back in the island, some through the fire, some
Mm-hmm.
through the flood,
Mm-hmm.
some through the what? The water, but all through the what? The blood.
But
You know what I'm saying? So so in the middle, so you're gonna feel the worst as the heat, as you're in the heat, right?
mhm.
But all I want to say to you, I want to encourage you today, those of you that are listening, you coming out of this.
Yeah. Trust God.
Everything is for a season. You are not going to die in your process.
That's
You're getting ready to come out of this.
right.
And
That's
we
right.
decree and we declare that over your life right now, this very day, this
Amen.
last month of the year, that you're coming out of it.
Yeah.
You may be in a place right now where you don't know what to do. Financially, you're struggling. You're trying to
Yeah.
figure out where the next dollar coming from. You don't know what decision to make. You're in a valley of decision. Should I leave this relationship? Should I stay? God, what are you saying? You just need to get in a quiet place and you ask God and just be ready for what he's about to tell you. I'm telling you, I know this from experience. I'd be
Mhm.
scared sometimes to ask God some things and even to show me some stuff. Because when he does, are you gonna listen?
Yeah.
Are you gonna take heed to what he's
Agree.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm.
promise you, he will in no wise cast you out if you really come to him with a sincere heart. God,
Yeah.
I just need to know. I prayed this prayer, and Elise, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I prayed this prayer a couple of weeks ago. And as much as I talk about purpose, you know when you get so overwhelmed by the weight of the world,
Mhm.
you got children, you got grandchildren, you got so much going on all around you. You're like, God, I don't think I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I was like, God, can you help me? Can you show me? And I want you to know that God showed me. He showed me through a series of different things that I was reading. He showed me. And you might say, this girl, you got so much fire. Listen, he showed me and told me.
Mhm.
So inside me, I now know. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking to you today from clarity, from a place of clarity, not where I'm confused. I have very clear state of mind right now of the direction that God wants me to go in. All you got to do is ask him, and he's going to lead you. He said he'll never leave you nor forsake you. So at your weakest moment, that's the time you need to cry out when the fire is hot. And I
Yeah.
got to this place and I said, Lord, God, you know I need to do something. Okay, all
Mhm.
the credit cards max out over here. So I got this one emergency card, God, but I don't know if I should. I'm scared to touch it because, because once God, I gonna be, he said, listen, I brought you too far. You are too far into it to turn back
Mm-hmm.
and quit. Because if you stop where you are right now, you're gonna still be with the debt.
Yeah.
But if you move forward and if you continue in your endeavors and you work at this business idea that I've given you and you work towards this, then you're going
Mhm.
to see what the end is going to be. So don't get weary and well doing is what I'm saying. Because you
Mhm.
will reap if you faint not. So I took
Yeah.
out that card, baby. And I swiped that card and I said, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm jumping all the way. God, I trust you. Listen, it's either sink or sail. So you got to
Mhm.
get to that place where you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you know that the only way for you is for you to succeed and go forward. Going
Yeah.
back and failure is not an option in this season.
That's right.
Failure is not an option in this season. As we're going into 2024, people, hear me. Hear me good. Alicia and I, we're getting ready to take this show to another level in
Mm-hmm.
That's
2024.
that's
We're
right.
getting ready to do things differently. We're getting ready to move
Mhm.
into a sphere that's uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
in order for us to get growth and for God to do what He's doing in us,
You have to
we've
trust.
got to be obedient to the
Yeah.
call.
Yes, we have to be
So that's
obedient.
what's resonated in me, Alicia, with this topic that you chose. I don't know why you did this to me.
What's new? Gender, what's new? You always have that passion behind it, and I'm obviously the laid back one, but at the same time, we complement each other, right?
Yeah.
When I think about the year that has just passed, one, it
Mm.
went by quickly, but I had to stop and recognize, I hope our audience recognize this too, that every cell in your body is created for a purpose.
Mhm.
Every cell is for a purpose. Your eyes is not just to see 2 inches in front of you.
Mhm.
Your brain is not just to absorb. There's so much more that you're created for. And are we utilizing it to its full purpose? I get nervous that I have a gift, and one morning I'm going to wake up and that gift is going to be taken away from me
Yeah.
because I'm not using it.
Yeah.
Because I'm so fearful, because I'm so dedicated and committed to a cause that is not enhancing me. And like
Yeah.
Gina said, if you're not going to elevate me, not necessarily financially, if you're not going to you can't come with me. It
Yeah.
took me a long time to get to this place, a long time and a lot of hard work and a lots of prayers in order for me to be at to get a peace degree. I call it a peace degree.
Mhm.
to attend the University of Peace.
Mm,
Yeah.
And I
like
have
that.
this peace
Mm,
and this forgiveness fire that I'm very picky about my circle.
me too.
And so I have to make it a habit to lay off of my plans and seek divine guidance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
in
what does
order for me to
what does that look
divorce
like?
that fear and that diligence and that commitment and anything that I'm married to, I have to understand me.
But what does that look like for you
Which what part?
to lay down and find out what works for you? What does that look
To
like?
to find out what works for me, I have to move out the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you don't want to reflect on the past because
Mm-hmm.
you look at the past. It depends on how you look at it. You look at the past and it tends to bring you down because of what you've been through. But you have to look at the past with a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I was. This is where I am. What are the possibilities?
Mm-hmm.
This is where he brought me from. This is what I've been through. And if he did it before, am I having amnesia that and forget that he did it before and he can do it again?
Mm,
So what am I fretting about?
Mm-hmm.
Am I in a better position now? Or am I at peace now compared to then? If I'm still in the same place, something is not working.
Yeah.
It's either I'm very stubborn or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not listening.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in a better position now, what is it that I'm complaining about? It can only get better.
Yeah.
No, it can go back to being bad if I choose not to
mm,
glorify or seek that divine guidance or maintain that peace. If I choose to let other people in, who's going to belittle me?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to be intentional about that divorce.
Yeah.
yeah.
Forget
Yeah.
about that emotional attachment and oh, it feels good and it tastes nice. But guess what? How long does that last for?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
2 hours?
Divorce
And
the
then we do it
ketchup.
again next week?
Yeah,
Divorce the
divorce the ketchup and the
yeah,
red velvet cake.
and the
Lord.
red velvet cake.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that ketchup, but at the same time, I have to look inside and even just look at my surrounding and see what impact have I made? What legacy am I leaving? Am I
Yeah.
an example?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm an example now compared to then, something must be right. I
Yeah.
must be on the right tracks. I don't want to go back there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. It's not going to
Um,
do anything for me.
I your question, Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Alicia, that's well said. I resonate with everything that you said, especially the part of being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I want to say is every one of us have a story.
Yep.
Every one of us been through something. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
how cute you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how prominent you are in society. All of us got a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And all of us have fallen short and done things that we ain't proud to talk about.
Hey.
So we done been there, done that, got a t-shirt. So as you know, so you're not alone in this world. More people that did that than you could ever think about, or more
Yeah.
people have been through what you've been through. So when you get to that place where you are depressed, you are at that place where I don't know what to do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
struggling. How do I take the layers off? How do I find me?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, understand that you got a story and understand why God allowed you to go through what it was you went through.
That's
You
it.
know, you are tougher than you think you are.
Yeah.
All of us got a story. Things that Alicia went through, I don't know if I could handle. Things that
Mm-hmm.
I went through, I don't know if you could handle, Natasha. Things that
Mm.
you went through, I may have fallen under.
Yep.
But all of us have a story. But the one thing that we have that we can say, we all have the love of God,
Yeah.
and we have His Word,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got we've got the scriptures. We got them on our fingertips on our cell phones now. We got no excuse. So when
Mm-hmm.
we get to that place where we are intentional, like Alicia said,
Mm-hmm.
where we intentional, like, you know what? I am ready to change. Because, baby, let me tell you something. I want you to know, in this word for somebody, you can never be the right person for the wrong people.
Yeah.
You trying to fit in right now, and you trying to be all this right person fitting in this clique, that clique. You can never be the right
The-
person for the wrong set of people.
That's good.
No matter how you try to fit it, it won't work.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are struggling with identity, Natasha. So they don't
Yep.
know, okay, I need to roll with this set of people. I need to, what you need to do is you need to sit down somewhere, like Alicia said, and
Sit
you
just.
need to ask God, I need you, I'm going to intentionally, God, you speak. I got my book, I got
Mm-hmm.
my pen, and I need you to tell me what I need to do. And I need you to show me and give me guidance. And His
Yeah.
Holy Spirit will do that. He will
Yeah.
show you. And
Yeah.
like Natasha said, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be uncomfortable because guess what? The minute you say you're going to be celibate, listen,
Mm-hmm.
all the cute guys gonna come out of the woods.
That's
And
why I said
listen,
about self control.
it gonna be the ones that you was looking at. It gonna be the ones that you was after for a long time and they ain't paid you no mind. Now, all of a sudden, you got a made up mind that come hell or high water. I'm a trust God this time. I ain't gonna do that no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, and this fine GQ thing come out and he'd be like, baby, I've been looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your number. All of a sudden now you second guessing yourself, like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
really want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You
Or the person you probably you were hoping that the person would be seen, you would be seen by the person, and that all of a sudden the person says, "Why don't we settle down? Why don't we go
ooh,
into
Guys, y'all
yes,
y'all causing problems now.
self control?" It's
that's a
not easy.
trap. Ooh,
It's not easy.
Y'all causing
Mhm.
problems.
Yeah,
You
ooh.
stirring something up, Janelle.
distractions are going to come.
I,
It's
Miss,
good.
oh, you said it, Natasha. That's it.
Yeah,
Distraction.
the
So
distractions.
anytime you're on this journey now, right? And you're
Mm-hmm.
making this conscious decision. We're at the end of the year. We got a couple of more days, a couple of more weeks before the end of the year. And now
Yeah,
we going into January 2024. What are you taking with you?
yeah.
I
What?
encourage you to leave all of that stuff in 2020, 2023. Don't do like this. So
Mm-hmm.
Janelle,
long,
that's it. You
bye
know.
bye.
Yeah,
Tell them bye.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
right now I've got a new attitude. I've got a
Mm-hmm.
new outlook. And guess what, Alicia? Some of your
Mm-hmm.
friends ain't gonna like it.
Of course
Girl,
not. Of course not.
who you think you are? In the island, who you think you is?
Yeah.
Of course not.
You is so and so child. But don't be
Mm-hmm.
dismayed by that because they said that to Jesus. They say, ain't that Mary and Joseph carpenter boy over there?
Exactly. And we have support there, persons aligned, because on this journey of finding myself, I didn't get there alone. Because that's why there are life coaches, that there are forgiveness coaches, there are, there are psychotherapists. There are other persons that you can speak to that can help you along that journey of understanding, okay, this is what I want to do. How can you help me? How can I go there? But you go to God first. Obviously, when you pray and you ask God to help you, He puts the people in your path, and they are aligned with what it is that He wants, where He wants you to go. So it cannot be done in isolation, right? Because you would need a friend, as Alicia and Janella, they speak constantly. You hear them. There's somebody there that will give you a word of encouragement. Say, don't give up. You know, don't give up. Everything that he has is it's already ordained. He has already planned. He's already put the people in your path. But you have to be attentive and you have to be intentional that you want better for yourself. Do you want to live you go into 2024 with the same sack of bags of heavy ketchup on your back?
Hold
Or
on,
you
lady.
or you
Can I
just
leave
want
my ketchup alone? I do.
you just want ketchup.
Yes, yes.
Or you want better for yourself. And
Right.
there's so much more that potential inside of all of us that has to be, given out. Somebody is waiting for you because of the purpose inside of you.
Hmm.
Somebody out there is waiting for you.
But it has to be an intentional decision. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't read the whole Bible, right?
Hmm.
But I'm quite sure there's nowhere in the Bible that says where Jesus says that do this and I love you. He
Come on
loves
now.
you regardless,
Mhm.
right? But he's a just God,
Yeah,
and he's ready and waiting for you to have a deeper relationship with him.
that's right.
And in order to get there, you have to have that faith, because faith will open that door for you to
Mhm.
have that deeper relationship with him. And
Mhm.
regardless of not, if you have that faith, he's loving. He loves you anyhow.
Yeah,
But if you're going to put yourself in that position to have that faith, then opens that door for a deeper relationship. You better be ready.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You better be ready for the passion that's coming with it. To
Mm.
live on purpose, to leave a legacy, to lead by example. Be ready
Mhm.
for that excitement, the truth and all. And despite everything that looks good that's going to come with it, there will be obstacles.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to be ready. Be ready to give him that chance. And it's
Mhm.
not easy, because you
Yeah.
don't want to let go of the things that make you feel safe, make you feel comfortable, make you feel fulfilled,
Mhm.
or give you that satisfaction. But
Mhm.
is it what you need?
Mm.
These things that are making you feel so alive,
Mm.
is it really making you alive, or is it just a facade?
Yeah.
Is it just a show?
Mhm.
But when
Mhm.
you're ready to be alive and you have that conversation and you find that space and you give him that time, he's not, he would prefer to have the whole day, the 24 hours. But guess what? I think he was set for 5 minutes at a time.
Mhm.
Give me 5 minutes. Let me in slowly. Show me your intention. And you'll be surprised at what he has in store for you, and what the possibilities are endless. And I have a saying, people say the sky is the limit. For me, the sky is not the limit. The sky is just a target. Because I feel
Mhm.
like there's more beyond that. But you
Mhm.
have to put yourself in a position to be ready for that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
likes, I posted something on Facebook today, and I got some reaction to it, which was positive. But
Mhm.
I want people not to just like it.
Mhm.
I'm not posting it for the likes, how
Mhm.
many likes I could get, to see how many people I have. No, I post it because I want you to read it, actually read it, and for it to be motivational, encouraging. Because I don't know where you are in your life. I don't know where you are with your story. I don't know what, Jada talk about. I don't know your pocket. I don't know
Mhm.
what 2024 has in store for you. But if you're human, which you are, if you're reading it, you got emotions, you got feelings, you got concerns, you got disruptors. And I'm hoping that it'll be a beacon of light.
Mhm.
That somebody will read it and it says something to them. It tells you that there's hope.
Mhm.
I am not where I want to be or where I would like to be or even where God wants me to be. But guess what? I'm giving him the opportunity to take me there.
Yeah. Let go and let God.
As challenging as it
Mm.
is, because there's some things I don't want to let go of, oh Lord,
Yeah.
There's some things I really don't want to let go of. But in order
Yeah.
to really have that peace and live on purpose and to
Mhm.
be that example, I don't want to be on a pedestal.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be high and mighty, because I'm not God.
Yeah.
But I want to be an example and live on purpose, and for others, to be an example for others. I have a
Mhm.
child. I want to be an example to him,
Mhm.
to be an example to his friends, to be an example to those who are old and think that they're wiser. Because
Yeah.
there are things there for them to learn as well.
Yeah.
But I have to put myself in a position that I have to let go and
Mhm.
divorce that fear. Find
Mhm.
my voice. Use my voice.
Mhm.
Use my story. Use my experience in order to go to the next level.
Yeah.
That's good, Alicia. That's really good. I know that 1 hour is never enough,
Mhm.
never enough time when we're having these amazing conversations.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to say, what will I say to someone that's really struggling right now? Sometimes, you know, Christmas is my favorite time of the year, but for some people, it's really it's not that. As they
Mm-hmm.
think of the obligations of buying gifts and all of that, when you get to a place where you understand the reason for the season, you think differently. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so and I'm saying that to say, as you go through this journey that you are encountering as a result of divorcing fear and divorcing diligence, you want to be married or joint to the right thing, to the right person, to the right vision, to the right destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take some work on your behalf because faith without works is dead.
Is
So
that?
you're not going to just sit there and it's just going to happen. You're going to have to put in some work,
Yes.
and you're going to have to be willing and ready to do the work. But I promise you, if you put the work in, you're gonna see the results, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to stop making excuses for why you can't lose weight,
Yeah.
why you can't work out, why you can't put the right things into your body.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a revelation of, God, the reason why you called me to earth, the reason why I'm here to help people birth their vision, or I'm here to tell my story to free other women or other men that have gone through the same experience. I'm here so that I can bring self awareness to a generation of people that seem to be struggling with their identity. That's a
Yeah.
big responsibility.
Yeah.
And when you feel like giving up, just know that there's someone looking at you, and
Mm-hmm.
there's someone that got some type of encouragement based off of
Mm-hmm.
looking at your life, based off of looking at where you are now and not just where you've been. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to give up, just remember that somebody's victory is lying on your shoulder, just
Yeah.
just waiting for you to say yes to your
Yeah.
purpose and your vision. Because you got
Yeah.
a whole slew of people, possibly
Mm.
some people in your family that need to find their way, and the door to that way is you.
Is you.
So I don't want you to give up. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
you to get discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
We already said it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's people like us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're struggling with forgiveness, you could reach out to Miss Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the most patient people I know, and she's impatient at the same time. I can say that, okay? I can say that. And you can also reach out to Miss Natasha. If you're
Mm-hmm.
struggling with self-awareness, and that's a topic in itself. If you're
Mm-hmm.
struggling, you got somebody, you've got a village of people. You've
Mm-hmm.
got me. If you trying to find out what your purpose is, you sure you don't know. You hit me up and I'll help you find it. We'll navigate and those uncharted waters together to get you to at least understand and see it. Okay, God, this is what you wanted me to do. So guess what? I can't hang around you no more. I can't hang around you no more. I gotta stay focused. We want you to know that we're rooting for you as we go into 2024. We want you to know that we got your backs. We're your number one supporters. We're your number one supporters. We're rooting for you. We want to see you succeed in your life. We want to get your testimonies. Tell us how this show has impacted your life, how this journey, chit chat with the Journey Sisters. How much years we going on, Alicia? 3?
Yes.
Oh my God. How
Yes. I
this
know, right?
journey has impacted your life. We want to know because guess what? It keeps us going. It keeps us moving. It keeps us pushing forward when we feel like giving up.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to encourage somebody. You're not alone. Whatever you have done or you feel you're the worst person out there,
Hmm.
God, it doesn't matter to God. He knows everything. And He's a compassionate God. And I always find myself with this vision of when Jonah was running, and even after telling the people of Nineveh what God had said, he went out to the hill, and God still extended the branch over him to protect him from that, from the sunlight. I always feel like, though we do so much, He's still there, and He's
Mm,
still there.
yes.
He has comforted us
Mhm.
in ways that you cannot imagine. So don't think that you're not worthy of the love and the compassion. You know, God is waiting, His arms are
Yes.
wide open, and He just wants you to say, yes, I'm ready. I'm waiting. You know, just use me, God. Show me what it is I need to change.
Hmm.
Align who you want me to be in alignment with, so I can build on and go to the next level where you want me to go. But understand that it is a process. It's not overnight. You know, and you have the resources right here. If you want to listen to this over and over and over again, so that you can get it, and
Hmm.
as they said, you just reach out to any one of us, and then we can help you on that journey, to help you get to that journey.
Yes.
Janelle, I'm thankful for Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. Um, you guys might not know it, but I'm not perfect.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not perfect. And I'm very disobedient.
Mhm.
And so, Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters, I rebuked it. I'm not doing this. I'm not a speaker. I'm not, no, I'm not talking to nobody. Yes, I have a story, but who needs to hear my story?
Mhm.
Because I was given Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters so that I can create awareness,
Mhm.
a platform to tell my story. Yes, you're going through your story and it's challenging. Who needs to know about that? But we're not aware that at the time that our demise, if you want to call it that way, is for a purpose,
Mhm.
to heal somebody else, to heal you. How can
Mhm.
this heal me when it seems so destructive?
Yeah.
But if we were to just sit and listen. And so Chit
Hmm.
Chat with the Journey Sisters came about. And I said, no, God, no, I'm not doing this.
But
And
yes,
and
she is.
and he said, yes, you. I said, I'm gonna tell you my side of the story, okay? And you're gonna listen to me. And I told him my side of the story, and he said, you're gonna still do it. So here we are, almost 3 years later, and there's so much more in store. There's so many lives that we have touched that
Yeah.
would otherwise think that, you know what, I'm on my own with this. There's no hope. That you don't understand what I'm dealing with. You don't understand what I've been through. You don't understand where I'm going. You don't know what it feels like. And I've
Mhm.
heard some some stories that have brought me to tears.
Mhm.
And I've even said to God, I wasn't ready for this. This is not, I just wanted to tell it. I didn't and for you
Mhm.
to hear it and for you to understand. I don't think I was ready to hear this.
Mhm.
But by hearing, it has even healed me more
Mhm.
and has given me the encouragement to want to do more.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not doing more, and we're not here because we just don't have anything else to do.
Mhm.
We're here because we've been through something.
Mhm.
And I'm one that believes that knowledge is power, but
Mhm.
knowledge is also useless,
Mhm.
and experience are useless if you keep it to yourself.
Mhm.
So we're here because we have something to say. It might
Yes.
not be for you, but it might be for the next person.
Yeah.
The entire broadcast might not be for you. You might even just hear one word, which is confirmation for what you were thinking.
Yes.
Mhm.
It might be a word, it might be a phrase, it might even just be a laughter. Oh, that laughter is infectious. Oh, these ladies
Mhm.
do have no sense. Right? And we come from different walks of life, but we mesh so well together because this is not our doing, this is His. And
Yeah.
so I ask that, again, that you have that faith, that you open that door. And when you open that door, be ready because He's going to show up and show out.
Yeah.
Amen.
Man.
And not only that, He's going to show up and show out, He says in His word,
Mhm.
and He gave us all these promises. And one of the things that He said was, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Mhm.
And with him, everything, not anything or
All
some
things.
things, not maybe sometimes, but all of it and everything is possible. So I'm asking that you give him that chance. Now, I'm your forgiveness coach. Forgiveness is what freed me, and I was never long enough, like Janelle said. Forgiveness is what freed me. And I don't know what it is that will free you, but I'm here as your forgiveness coach that I could guide you through that process of what it took me and can possibly what it will take to get you to that place where you can be at peace.
Yeah.
Then they'll say, I am one of the most forgiving, patient person that you could find.
Mm.
I'm not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be perfect
Mm.
because I don't know what perfection would do to me.
Mm.
I will be perfect when He says that it's time for me to be.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I will try and use what He has given me. And He gave me a story, a life that I know what it is to live on purpose now. I know what it is to have that peace, to have that happiness. And happiness is from inside.
Yeah.
It's not no gifts. It's not no, you know. Can you be happy with no money in your pocket?
You sure can.
Okay, that's me. I'm happy. I'm not saying, I'm happy. And the
Yeah.
happiness just bring us a smile or laughter from out of nowhere. I just laugh at myself for no reason. It
Peace.
don't even make no sense sometimes. My son will say, "You okay?"
I love my peace. That's what it gives.
Yes, peace for me too.
You can find me, and I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity to, because we're at the end of the broadcast. Again, 1 hour is never enough. You can find me on Facebook as my name, Alicia Alexander, and as She Forgave. If you want to reach out to me via email, it's sheforgave@gmail.com. And you can find me on Instagram. I'm still trying to finagle how to do this Instagram thing. But I'm there. I'm there. They say Facebook is for old people, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not claiming age. I'm not claiming that I'm old. I'm just saying I'm on Facebook, okay? I can do that one. Instagram, I'm still working on it. But we're here on the first Sabbath, I'm sorry, the first Saturday. I say the Sabbath because I'm a Sabbath worshiper. On the
Mm-hmm.
first Saturday of every month. Here to let you know that we are your voice. We're here to inspire, to motivate, to coach, to create awareness, and to guide you to that purpose that God has intended for you. It's a work
Yeah.
in progress, and we're still there. We're still working. We're still
We're under
growing. We're still
construction.
learning. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we're still here breathing, meaning that He's not finished with us as yet.
Not done with me. That's it.
Natasha, where can they
Yeah.
find you?
Well, I am also on Facebook as Natasha Pascal. I am also on Instagram as Natasha Pascal and email natasha.pascal at safespaceconsultancy.co. That is the business. I create that safe space for you. That's how I can be contacted.
And I am Janelle E., your life coach. And you can find me on Facebook as well. You can find me under Janelle Drayton. That's my personal page, or She Inspired Women. And I'm on Instagram as Miss She Inspired Speaks. Reach out to me if you want to find out, or if you're confused, or you just want to get confirmation as to what your purpose is. And I can show you how to peel those layers and get an understanding and discover the new you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to, oh gosh, 2024, where God has bigger and better things in store for you. You have to believe that. You have
Yeah.
Yes.
to believe that.
Yes.
It's not easy, but you have to believe. And my evidence to you that you have to believe and it's possible is that if you see it,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Come on now.
cross the threshold into 2024, that means He's not done with you yet.
Yeah.
Amen.
He still
Hmm.
has a work for you. So it's not over.
It's not over.
That's only confirmation
Yeah.
that there's more to come. So we'll
Yep.
see you guys in probably, yes, we'll see you guys in January. You have a
Yes.
Yep.
wonderful evening. Thanks for joining Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters.
Bye
Bye.
bye.